Hey, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat. Sorry for the technical difficulty. I'm getting
Shalom.
used to the controls of this thing.
Well, okay.
Hey,
Uh,
shalom, Shabbat. I don't want. Can you hear me?
Shalom. Yep. Yep.
Hmm.
You hear
Can
me?
you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. I can't hear you. Just lock it for 1 second. Uh, Say something for them for me. I don't want.
Yo, shalom. Shalom. Hey, if y'all can hear us, press a 7 in the chat. If y'all can hear us, press a 7 in the chat. Put a 7 in the chat if you can hear us. Uh, 7 in the chat if you can hear us. Come.
All right,
Yeah.
it's lock it. I got it back. I got it back.
Okay. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, bet.
All right, all praises, all praises. All right, shalom, family. All right. Well, we thank you guys for being here with us. Uh, so first and foremost, we like to give all thanks and honor and praise and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. That's the Most High in the name of His Son. And this lesson today is: have you ever been considered by God? Shalom, shalom for everybody coming into the building. All right, so let's look at this, right? So this is something that was brought out at camp one time, and it's something that just stuck with me. You know what I mean? And if we ever looked at the scriptures, right, we've heard the term uh, someone being considered by God in a
Mm.
verse, right? And we all equate that to the story of Job, right? We can get into that today, all right? So when I searched up the word consider, right, some of the definitions based on the context brought me to this: to look attentively at, right? To consider means to look attentively at. So when you consider something, that means that you are put your whole thought and you consider. Well, can't use the same word to define it, but you put your thought, your attention, your focus onto that one thing, right? So when we consider something, that means we hold it to high regard, right?
Mhm.
So if you are being considered by God, that means that God holds you at high regard, right? Shalom, shalom, shalom. Officer Knock in the building, right? So when we hold someone or something to a high regard, that means that we have respect for it, right? So when we are considered by God, right, that means that the Most High also looks at us with respect, because He only looks at the children of Israel with respect, right? So let's get the book of First John 5 verse 2, right?
All right. It's the book of First John, chapter 5 and verse 2. By this we know that we love children of God, when we love God and keep his commandments.
Okay, that's verse 2. What about verse 3?
Verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
Right. So when I respect something, I love it. I have love for that thing, right? Respect not always should come naturally until reason is given not to respect it anymore, right? So the Most High wants us to obey Him, but then He holds us in that regard because we obey Him. But then once we move into sin, then that's when things start to falter. Here in the Christian church, they said God hates the sin, not the sinner, right? That is a very ambiguous statement, right? God
Mhm.
hates the sin, not the sinner, right? I believe that's in the book of Sirach, I believe chapter
Yep.
10. Could you pull that for me, Adon?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's lucky. I sounding good
Yep.
because I got some new equipment, so I just want to make sure.
Yep. I think it's 12. Uh, this is Iraq chapter 12, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
For the Most High hateth sinners, and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly, and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment.
So the Most High hated sinners. You understand? It's not, oh, he just hates the sin that we do. No, 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 no. Because that frames in the context of a ever loving God. Like, where they say God is all love. But we all know that the Most High is a balanced God, right? In the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 7, he says, I make peace and create evil. I created light and darkness. I, the Lord, do all these things, right? The Most High is a balanced God. So just how he can attribute to you good, he can contribute to you evil as well. But it's not like it's an intentional evil. It's the evil due to the deeds that you have done against his commandments. Because the commandments were made for a light for us so that we can live our lives without fear of being destroyed or, you know, bad things befalling us. Because the Most High, he protects those who serve him, who love him,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you
Yep.
got that one.
No, I
You
was
got
just
some?
saying you can see that all throughout like Joshua, and other books.
That's right.
Joshua, when Israel was listening, they kept winning all the wars and
Mm-hmm.
destroying all the other nations and whatnot. But when they
Mm-hmm.
wasn't listening, hey man, you you reap what you sow. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
you
And the
reap.
thing and the thing is, like, I remember when the children of Israel, when they were going through the wilderness and they were fighting wars against the other tribes and everything, right,
Mhm.
of the heathens. And Mosai told Moses to lift your hands up and Israel will prevail. And if he lays it down, they won't succeed. I think that's a very black and white representation of either you obey me or you don't,
Mhm. Right.
right? So when you obey me, things fare well for you. And you don't, the worst happens. So, and this is why Moses um, made a plea unto the children of Israel, right?
Mhm.
Through God. He said, I set before you blessings and cursings, life and death.
Right.
And he's saying to choose life, right? Life is the thing that which we need to be able to eat from the tree of immortality. Life
Mhm.
is following the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, right? So if we don't adhere to that, we will never be considered by Him,
Right.
right? You have to think about this. You being in this truth right now, oh, Slovakia, for us being in this truth right now, right? You have to think we have been considered by God.
Mhm.
Now, are you going to stay in this consideration? That's the question that we need to ask ourselves. That's what we need to put the magnifying glass. How do we keep God's consideration? All right. So when I looked up, you know what, Slagia, let's get the book of Job, right? Chapter 1.
True.
And we can start from the top.
Right. The book of Job, chapter 1, verse 1. There was a
Mm-hmm.
man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and the man was perfect and upright,
Mm-hmm.
and the one that feared God and eschewed evil.
So Slagia. So for one, he feared God and he eschewed evil, right? Eschewed means to, move away, run away from evil or look away from evil, right?
Mhm.
But the point of being is, it says that he was a perfect and upright and one that feared God, right? So what do we always bring out? The fear of God, right? We always bring up the fear of God. The fear of God is the first step to be accepted of Him, as said in the book of Sirach, right? To fear the Lord is to gain His wisdom. To fear the Lord is to take from the tree of immortality,
Right.
right? Even when we get to the end of the book, right, in Revelations 22 and I believe 15, it says, Blessed are they that keep His commandments, for they shall have right to the tree of life, right? And Hey, I don't want to get the book of Sirach 19, verse 19, right? Let's show a contrast real quick.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 19, verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
The knowledge of commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life, and they
Mm-hmm.
that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality.
Right. So right there, um, you know, the fear of the Lord, right? It's the doctrine of life, right? That's just how we gain the fruit of the tree of immortality, right? The fruit, the works, the fruit, um, the rewards. We looking at it like that, right? So I, I'm imploring everybody here just to think and consider these things, right? Because to be perfect and upright, right, is the way the Most High wants to see us.
Mhm.
This is how we show Him respect, right? So let's keep going on in Job 1, verse 2, right?
Uh,
Hey, and also let me get a 7 in chat just to see who's still with me. You know, I know it's a little early in the morning for some. You know what I'm saying? Let me see some
man.
sevens in the chat. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
No shots fired. No shots fired.
Oh man. This is Job chapter 1 and verse 2.
Yeah, yeah.
And there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters.
Mm-hmm.
His substance also was 7,000 sheep and 3,000 camels and 500 yoke of oxen and 500 she asses and a very great household, so that this man was the greatest of all the men of the east.
So stop right there, right? So let's look at it, right? Oh, they talk mess in chat, but let's look at it, right? Slagia. But most of my house sleep right now, so just saying. But when we look at it, let's get the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1, right? Because we see now not only that Job is a perfect and upright man and one who eschewed evil, right? He was a man who had great substance. He had lots of fruit of his body, a lot of cattle, a lot of everything, right? So let's see.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And that shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently to the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and do all his commandments, which I commanded thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So right there, right, and the water coda for um, actually putting the verses inside the chat, going over and beyond. I love the zeal, right, where it says right here, his substance also was 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, right, and at the end it says, and a very great household, so that this man was the greatest of all the men of the east, right? Now, what did the scripture just say? You just read verse 1, right? Of
Deuteronomy,
Deuteronomy 20.
yeah, go on.
Okay. So at the end of Deuteronomy 28 and 1, right? It says that he will set thee on high, right, above all nations, right? Job is set on high above all the men in the east.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Like he's already at that pedestal, right? Because he feared God and he eschewed evil, right? Let's keep going with verse 2 in Deuteronomy.
Okay. Verse 2. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Hmm.
Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field.
The man had 3,000 camels, bro. 7,000 sheep. Bro, he have to have a whole task force to feed
Man,
and take care of them. You know what I'm saying? That ain't no easy feat, especially back then. Ain't no
right.
factories. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no automated systems. You know what I'm
straight,
saying?
straight hand work
Right. You
in the
understand?
field.
The only
Field.
form of what's that? Lord?
I said straight in the field, man.
God, ain't no form of optimization is there. So only way you could get to feed all them sheep and all them camels and also to keep them livestock healthy, right, was to hire servants, right? So hire what's the word? Work hands, right? You know, the men for hire type
Mhm.
stuff. You know what I mean? And yeah,
So like, hey,
you gotta
you gotta think like back then, like you had to wake up like
earlier
three
than you.
in the morning, man, to start work. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And you try to be done by 2 p.m. or something like that. But
Mm-hmm.
man, I was man,
And
a
it,
lot
and
going on back then, man. A lot going on.
and who trying to do that, bro? Like
Right.
Job set up whereas he ain't gotta wake up early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
His whole household automated by his ability to hire, people to help him out.
Right.
You understand? So,
Bond. Yeah.
but this is when you love God, when you fear God. You understand? So we looking at a pure example of a man who feared God fully.
Right. Right.
Let's uh let's jump down to in Deuteronomy 28. Jump down to verse 4.
Verse 4. Deuteronomy 28:4. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, and the increase of thy kind.
Job got 10 kids. He have 10 kids. He had 7 sons, 3 daughters. That's
Mhm.
that's very for you. Who could have 10 kids in this day and age right now? Easily. You know what I mean? It ain't an easy feat, right? For you to be able to produce that many children, have that many count. Like, bro, shoes having 2, 3 kids is enough right now.
Man,
My
especially out here, boy, man.
see, y'all Cali people, y'all different. Y'all a little different there.
Man, especially out here, shoot, you got 2 or 3 kids,
Hmm.
man. Man, it's a lot of praying, a lot of faith. Kids doing these extracurricular activities. Volleyball costs $5,000-6,000 for the season, and man, a lot of
Listen,
praying, a lot of hustling. Hustling these butters. You know what I'm saying?
don't don't worry. I ain't worrying about you, other one, because you set up like Batman. So I ain't worrying about you.
Man,
You got butlers for every occasion. So I
wish.
understand. I understand. You humble with it. You humble with it. But
Yeah,
God, but yeah, going back. So he was a man full of blessings, right? Because of his stature or his state with the Most High. You know what I mean? Right? You're right, Kowal. You're right.
oh man.
That's that good Cali
Hey, look,
life.
Rocker, real
God.
quick. Hey, I'm Cali broke, man, but I'm Atlanta rich.
Mm, mm.
Oh shoot! All
Say
right, go
that
ahead.
again. Say
Go
that
ahead.
again. But yeah, God. But right there, we seen in Deuteronomy 28:1, which shows the blessings that you will get once you follow the Most High's commandments, right? And you see that 3 of the blessings here is already what Job has. You understand? So that's telling you he's operating on the side of the blessings already. You know what I mean? There's no curses for him. All
Mhm.
right. So let's jump back to Job 1. Right? Where
Can
were
I
we
get
at?
precept real quick, man?
Con, you got it.
Um, this is Joshua chapter 1 verse 8.
Mm,
This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. Right.
con.
So if you know the book of Job, so like if you know the book of Job, you know that the whole point was to see if he was going to curse the Most High, right? And get upset, I guess. And that was the whole thing with the Most High and Satan to test Job, right? And Job kept doing what he was supposed to be doing, uh, praying and trying to talk to the Most High and keeping, you know, his commandments in a sense, right? Um, and then at the end of Job, he got double of everything. You know what I'm saying? So I brought that out just to show you that, if you keep meditating on this word, meditating on the Most High, you know, uh, uh, you'll have that you become prosperous at the end of everything, But don't just do it just because you want something in the end. You know what I mean? You want to do it because you want to stay diligent. You want to do it because you love the Most High and you fear the Most High. You know what I mean? So I yield there.
That's a beautiful point, Alon. Very beautiful point. I'm actually going to touch on that, right?
Hmm.
Because we can't serve the Most High double-minded.
Right.
You understand? We can't just want to gain the goodness from Him, right? But we don't want to also receive the bad. We don't want to receive the trials that come with serving Him, right? But we can get into that, right?
Hey, Salaki,
So,
sorry, real quick. Hey, for
mhm.
everyone that's scribing the class, you don't have to put the whole entire verse, right? You can just put the book, chapter, and verse. That's it.
Man, to see it was on them, man. I didn't want to stop him.
That's all right.
We
It's
ain't got to
all
pull it. We had the precept right there. We didn't have to pull it again. But
I mean,
God, what I
I mean,
want
if you're
said,
compelled to do it, then okay, go ahead. But you don't have to put the whole entire verse. All right.
God, yeah, like God once said, you don't have to put the whole entire chapter, book, chapter, verses, all that's needed.
Right. Right.
Okay, so where were we in Job?
Job chapter 3. Job chapter 1, verse 4.
All right,
I
we could
mean,
we could jump over that. We could jump over that. Let's get verse. You know what? No, don't jump over it. That's a point there too. Read 4 and 5.
God. So this is Job chapter 1 and verse 4. And his sons went and feasted in their houses, every one his day, and sent and called for their three sisters to eat and drink with them. And it was so, when the days of their feasting were gone about, that Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning, and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all. For Job said, it may be that my sons have sinned and cursed God in their hearts. Thus did Job continuously.
God, how many of us parents are doing what Job does, right? Trying to cover their children on a daily basis, not
Mm,
knowing what they've done. Like
right.
I'll be honest. Like I'm working on it. You understand? But prayers, what's the scripture say? The fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much, right? When we praying for our kids, when we praying for our family, praying for our nation, continuously, regardless if they did sin or not.
Hmm.
It's that showing that love towards your family, towards one another, towards everything else in your life, right?
Right.
Everything that's pertinent in your life, right? Because we're doing what as Yahweh Shai has commanded us, right? As well as the Most High has commanded us, right? To love our neighbor as we love ourselves, right? We have to continually move in brotherly love, right?
Hmm.
Didn't Paul say let brotherly love continue?
God.
You understand? And that's important because if we don't have that, we don't have nothing, right? If we can't even consider ourselves, how we even could think for a second to be considered by God?
Hmm.
Hmm? Like make that make sense, right? So, God, let's keep going. Verse 6.
God, verse 6. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them.
No, hold on. Wait. You just said Satan.
God.
What are you doing with the sons of God?
Mm,
What? I thought he was underground and he was, getting the suntan. You know what I'm
God.
saying? That's
Right.
what I thought. That's what
I
I
thought
thought.
I thought him and the Most High was beefing.
Man, I thought he was fighting with the Most High, like he had more power than him or something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But he amongst them, right? Let's see what's going on, right?
Verse 7. And the Lord said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it.
Now watch this, right? The Most High already know where Satan be, because the Most High already commanded Satan to go wherever he had to go. You understand? Because Satan has a job. Satan works for the Most High. He on the Most High payroll. You know what I'm saying? So he asking her right now to me, the Most High asking a rhetorical question, right? And it's up to Satan not to lie to him. But Satan is an obedient servant. He's not going to lie to him, right? He's the one that puts us through those fiery trials. He is the one who was commanded to give us um, um, uh, that furnace of adversity.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Like he is the one that measures us to see if we are worthy of God or to be considered by God, right? So let's go to verse 7. Let's see what it says, right?
Verse 7. And the Lord
Slack it,
said,
slack it, slack it. Verse 8. My fault,
verse
my
8.
fault.
Verse 8. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is
Uh,
none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil?
so right here, the Most High seen Job and how he moved. And he saw that Job loved the Most High because he feared him and he eschewed evil, right? Like hold that verse, get me Job 28, right? Because there's an importance when we look at eschewed evil, right? Or eschewing evil, Job, the book of Job itself tells you why evil was being eschewed from him because of his fear. You got that one?
God. This is Job chapter 28, verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
And unto man he said, Behold, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom, and to depart from evil is understanding.
Okay, so the departing from evil is understanding. Job was a man of full understanding of the ways of the Most High, full understanding of keep the Sabbath day, full understanding of we do Passover, we do first fruits, full understanding of Day of Atonement, full understanding of love your neighbor. You understand? So this man of understanding. This is how he's eschewing evil. That's why he showed so much compassion towards his kids, because he was always worried about if they had sinned or not. Right?
So, okay,
So
let me get a precept real quick.
you got
This is Sirach chapter 2, verse 15. They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways.
that's
Verse,
right.
verse 16. They that fear the Lord will seek in which is well pleasing unto him, and they that love him shall be filled with the law. Right?
God,
It's not hard to understand. Like I tell my kids all the time, we fear the Lord by keeping his commandments, and we love the Lord by keeping his commandments. Right? If you fear the Lord, you're gonna be worried about, if I don't do this, this can happen. Right? If you love the Lord, you're gonna do exactly what he say. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just wanted to bring that out for you. Can't hear you.
Slack. Yeah, I get it's like it. My fault. My fault. Um, so kind. Uh, Slack.
Job 28.
Nah, nah. Get me the book of Jeremiah 17, verse 9. Bible shop.
Yeah. Jeremiah 17 and verse 9.
God,
This is Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it?
God. So the heart is desperately wicked above all things. Who can know it? Right? When we look at the heart, right, we see the heart is the mind as well. Right? So we can look at Book of Sirach chapter 5, verse 2. It tells you, right, about the heart being the mind. So now the Most High looks at the heart of man, right, and he sees the wickedness in it. So if you come to serve the Most High with a double-minded heart, he ain't going for that. Like point blank here, he is not going for that.
Mhm.
So So, like what you were saying earlier, Adawan, right? That when you come to serve the Most High, you have to serve the Most High in spirit and in truth. You can't come to Him with other intentions. You understand? Oh Lord, if I could just get $500,000, I'll be cool. But then after that, never see you again.
Right.
I never do another Sabbath. I never do another feast day. I never um, um, love my brother like I love myself. I can be stingy
Hmm.
with my money. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what you doing by serving them with a double heart, right?
Hmm.
Kawal put let me see what Mark 7:21 say.
Let's read that. This is Mark 7:21. Who's this?
Shalom King.
Hey,
Yabashana
Shalom, man.
Shabbatah.
Shalom, y'all. Bashem Yahweh Shabbat.
Mark 7:21. For from within, out of the heart of men, proceed evil thoughts, adulteries, fornication, murders, theft, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lasciviousness, an evil eye, blasphemy, pride, foolishness. All these evil things come from within and defile a man.
Come, come. That's a mighty precept, right? These are
Uh,
the things that defile us. The things that we hold for vanity, they defile us. Our intentions for why we doing what we doing, that defiles us, right? The Most High is saying, if you come to the Most High with with double minded in your heart, He ain't gonna honor that. When Solomon came to the Most High and he fasted, he said, "I only want your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, so that I could judge your great people."
mhm.
Right? He wasn't looking for wealth. He wasn't looking for any type of material possessions or anything like that. So the Most High saw he came to him in sincerity. He
Right.
came to him with the same level of passion that his father had. So what you think? So what you think the Most High did? He gave him the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that he asked for. But then he also gave him more money than anybody else that I think ever. You know what I'm saying? Solomon had everything he needed. You understand? But he just trusted in the Most High for one thing: the things that come from Him, His
Mhm.
wisdom. You understand? His knowledge and His understanding. Solomon humbled himself. He ain't like, oh, I'm a king. I'm David's son. Nah, you ain't nothing. But in the grand scheme of things, when it comes to the Most High. So Solomon humbled himself, and he said, "I'm just your servant, Lord. Just give me knowledge, wisdom, and it's not so I could do those service in which you had ordained me to do." Right? That's the important part. That's an important point. Right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Hey, Antonio. Let me get the book of Genesis, chapter 6. You can start at verse 5.
Salaki, what was that? You said Genesis 6 and 5?
6 and 5.
Um, the book of Genesis, chapter 6 and verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
The thoughts of his what?
The thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
So the thoughts of his heart was evil continually, right? That means that they were just out there wilding, hard boy summer and hot girl summer all year round. You know what I'm saying? Just doing lasciviousness, everything that Mark 7:21 had, right? So, Slaki, one second.
Yeah, man. So it's you got to remember that the things that a lot of us think, like Christ said, it can defile us. You know what I'm saying? Um, read that precept one more time, Antonio.
This the book of Genesis, chapter 6 and verse 5.
Hmm.
And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was evil continually.
Right, the thoughts. That's what Benjamin is focusing on, right? The thoughts that are in your mind. That's what your heart is. You know what I'm saying? What you're thinking. Um, like Christ said, your mind can uh you get thoughts of murder, you get thoughts of adultery, you get thoughts of all different kind of things, man. And you gotta pretty much control that, you know.
Okay.
I yield there. Go ahead.
Lucky.
Go ahead.
What Ador?
I got
What you got,
a
Ador?
I got a precept.
What you got?
This is Jeremiah 17:9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it?
Okay.
So
And this,
like the one was saying, like
mm-hmm.
the first thing that pop into your mind when you get any type of news is usually not a positive thought or something that is gonna move us forward. So that's why you have to become reborn and renewed in your mindset and in your spirit. That's why you gotta show patience, right? Um, and so that these things aren't the first thing that you act on, and that ultimately you known as your response to those things. So I yield with that.
Hmm.
Hey, brilliant precept, bro. And you see this? Even though, see, here's the thing. What I don't like about Christianity, right? You could go to two different churches, right? And they could preach the same type of message. When I say Prince, like they say they're preaching about crucifixion or loving your neighbor, whatever. So they would literally, you can't say that the two sermons are the same because they're going to always veer away from their point because they're only looking at their ideology. You understand? Brother Antonio, he just basically brought back out the precept again because everything leads back there. The
Hmm.
hearts of man is desperately wicked above all things. Who can know it? Right? That double mindedness, the precepts are there. That's why there's no private interpretation of these scriptures. You understand? This truth ain't no indoctrination. Well, I'll say it like this: this truth is not an indoctrination of men, right? This is the indoctrination of the Most High God. This is
Hmm.
His words, and this is the meaning that He instilled for us to have, right? The only way you could be able to understand and see His words for what they truly are is for you to be filled with His Spirit, right? If you don't have His Spirit, then you won't understand His knowledge. You won't understand His wisdom, right? So, um, let me get keep going in Genesis 6.
John, it's the book of Genesis, chapter 6 and verse 6. And it repented Yahweh that he made man on the earth.
So,
And it,
Salakia. So it repented Yahweh. Does Yahweh repent? Does Yahweh repent? You understand? Does he commit sin that he has to repent for?
Uh-uh.
So people would take that and say, "Oh, well, that's a contradiction." The Most High, he's repenting from making man. Creating man was not a sin, right? We understand what sin is, right? Sin is anything that goes against the law, such as commandments, or the words of the Most High God, right? We know these things. So how could the one that sets the rules break them,
Hmm.
right? So let's not look at that as, oh, the Most High is sinning or the Most High sinned when He created man. No, that's not what it is, right? Man sinned continually. It was as it may be as like He was creating people who sins, right? No, the Most High is saying like, yo, y'all just wilding right now. You know what I'm saying? And He's seeing that, man, I just feel sorry. Like, why y'all got to do this? Y'all could have been here loving me, but y'all choosing to do wicked continually, right? That.
Slocky.
Mhm.
And I when you look at like the Hebrew, right? It's actually uh um what's the word? Na Nakam, I think that's what it is. Naham or something like that. Um and it actually means to be sorry, or to be, to have pity, or to have compassion, or to like sigh, you know what I'm saying? And obviously the Most High can't repent because He don't sin, right? So what is that talking about? He's talking about like, you ever your kids, You tell them to do something, and they just do the complete opposite, and you just like, dude, like what the hell is going on? You know what I'm
All
saying?
the time, all the
That's
time.
that's pretty much what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, why y'all acting like that? I told you to do this. Why? You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. So if anybody say, "Oh, the Lord repented," and like no, one, like I said, one, the Lord can't repent as of sin wise, right? But it was more like like, yo, like what is y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you to do this, but you do the complete opposite. You know, I yield.
Like it hurts my heart that y'all are acting.
Right, right.
It's like your parents when they used to tell you like this is gonna hurt me more than it hurts you. Like
You don't understand until you get one of your own, boy.
Right,
God,
right. Yep.
God, God. All right, where we start by, Kings?
You have
I'll
verse.
finish 6 out and then go to 7.
Yeah, let's get set.
I'll get 7. Okay.
Mhm.
The book of Genesis, chapter 6, and verse 7. And Yahweh said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth.
So that's that
But
life and death, right? So like, that's that life and death in a sense, right? It's like a precursor to that. I put before you blessings and cursings. The Most High said, "Be fruitful and multiply." That was His command for man to be fruitful and multiply on the earth. But they choose to be evil continually. Were they probably doing what the Most High commanded them to do? Probably not. He probably was going off into all types of abominations, right?
Mhm.
But the Most High, it made the Most High so mad that he said, "Bro, I just put the unalive everybody now." You know what I mean? So for the Most High to get to this point, he had to have it up to here with that.
Right.
So right here at this point, it's going to show a contrast now between these men here and the man that's what to talk about. Kind of, you got it, King. You go.
and that just goes to his point of being a God of wrath and a jealous God as well, because everybody
Mhm.
try to make him seem like he just all love. He like, yo, I'll shut all this down right now.
For real.
Uh, I'll add this out right now.
I'm gonna start 7 at the top. And Yahweh said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them.
So not only just the men, but even the animals can get it too. Everybody, I get everything that could walk and talk. I clap and everything. Even the one, even the lineage from the men that I have chosen, right? Like he might have that thought, right? Because at this point, if you couldn't show him no better, everyone's getting it. You understand? So the Most High was just like, bro, let's just ball it up and start again. You
Right.
understand? This is what this type of energy that Most High was given at this point, right? But let's keep going. What's up? You
I
about to
got a
say
question.
something?
So with the both man and beast, that's talking about the chosen lineage and the others, correct?
Can,
And
can.
then that could be something to show the difference between the chosen lineage and all the nations, that refers to that dream. And was it is it an Acts?
Oh yeah. Cornelius.
Oh yeah, yeah. Ox
Right.
10,
Talking
Ox
about the
10.
beast, just a reference to show you
Mm-hmm.
who those beasts are that it's referring to in that verse as well.
Mhm.
See, see, and I see in the Bible is full of similitudes, right? So from the beginning to the end, the Most High keeps it consistent, right?
Right.
So because without the Lord such commandments, you're like a beast, right? So at this point, you remember this is Acts 6. Acts 5, I mean, sorry, not Acts 6. This is Genesis 6. Genesis 5 just listed off all of the sons of God, right? All the lineage that came from Seth, right?
Mhm.
And now we're on verse chapter 6 now, right? So do you think that book still is about like calling the other men that was created and not chosen by the Most High God men? No. Because when we look at Genesis 2, right, 2 verse 7, it says that the Most High breathed breath into man and he became a living soul. So, but that's another topic for another class. I can let you teach that one, since you brought that up. but Khan, but Khan, but let's keep going with what's that? 6 and 7,
Verse 8.
verse 8. Khan.
But Noah found grace in the eyes of Yahweh. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with Yahweh.
So
Mm.
you see that? Look at that, right? So in the beginning, even up to Job, right? They still moving the same way. Job was a just mind, a just and perfect mind, one who eschewed evil, and Noah was a what? What did it say Noah was?
And Noah was a just man and perfect
And
in
perfect,
his generations.
right? Job was also perfect. That means they walked in accordance with the Most High God, with the Most High God, His laws, His statutes, commandments, His understanding, right? And
Mhm.
this, see, and the Bible pins it down to a point, and it beats it to death. We all have to fear God. We all have to fear God. That means do His commandments, keep His laws, keep His statutes, keep everything as best as you possibly can. That's why Christ said in Matthew 5, "Be ye therefore perfect as my Father in heaven is perfect." Let's try not to accept anything less, right?
Right.
Yes, we will fall at times, right? But it's about the mentality, right? Like how Kobe used to say, having that Mamba mentality, right? You have to have that. You have to see it in your mind and visualize in your mind that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Can go. Yes, that means he followed the law, statutes, commandments. He was perfect. Can, and this is why the Most High was hell bent and set on destroying everything. Everything that pissed against the wall, he was boom, gone,
Right.
over with. You understand? But because Noah, through this chosen seed that he had chose from Adam, found him to be perfect. Because remember now, the seed Adam walked in the commandments of God until he fell by doing something against what he said,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not to eat of the fruit of the tree of good and evil, right? But how do you know his whole lineage wasn't going off? Um, what's it called? No, not Methuselah. Enoch. It was Enoch. Enoch, he got taken up.
Oh
They
yeah.
said Enoch walked with God and was not.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
you going? These men were following after the law, statutes, and commandments. Every last one of them. Methuselah lived till 969 years old. That's life, bro. He
Man.
lived longer than Adam, the man who the Most High chose first, right? He beat Adam by what? About 30, 60 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? These men were walking with the Most High God, right? Maybe at different levels, right? But they were walking with Him. They were moving in the law, statutes, commandments, and His understanding, right? So that's why these men were considered. If there's anybody who can make it out of this destruction that before them, it's these said right here. That's why when we look at Noah, that's why he was a just and upright man, and perfect in his generation. You understand? No, there was no man better than him. None. So that goes without saying now. Being considered, right, means that you already set the bar for where you have to be continually to be with the Most High God. So when we came to this truth, right, we had that fire and we had that zeal, right? But what happened over time when Satan started doing his job, right? Let's get on Book of Sirach 2 real quick, right? When Satan starts doing his job, what starts to happen?
I'm
We
already
start,
there.
you ready there? We start to wean, right? Our intensity starts to get less and less because all types of trials and tribulations are coming at us one after the other, right? If your life is the same after you came into the truth, I would say for me, I'm gonna say you need to examine yourself because a lot like if you're the only one that came with that understanding, best believe it that it'll have to be a godsend for your life to go the same way it was going. I'm gonna tell you this now because it ain't. I haven't heard anybody yet that I've spoken to in the truth that would say that. Sorry, that would say that their life is the same as it was before they was in the truth. I've never met one yet.
Good and bad.
You understand?
Straight up.
For real. Good and bad.
So, so you have the if you are one like that, you need to examine yourself. Are you truly in the truth?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You sure have to examine yourself. So you got Sarah. Who got Sarah Act 2? Okay, bring it up.
Khan, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve Yahweh, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Right. First thing coming into this truth, the temptation. Right. Because all the things that you learn about, oh, oh, you dropped off. All these things that you learn about being in this truth, you know what I mean? You start to get, ooh, I could do that. I could do this. Yeah, let's get it. Right. And you start to overindulge without having the proper understanding. Right. It's about having the proper understanding before you even move first. But you might get tempted now by the things in which you hear to rush into it too speedily. Right. Oh, you could have multiple wives. Brothers jump on that right away. Right away. Not understanding that there's a whole battle when it comes to stuff like that. Ain't everybody built for things like that, right? So, and they'll hit themselves into a roadblock real quick. And guess what? Because the temptation will be there based off of that thought, and you will try to act on that temptation, and then you see that your whole life goes topsy turvy. You know what I mean? You look like you want to say something, Antonio. Well,
Yeah, no, you just spot on with it because, like, the things about it, when you get hit with those trials, it's going to look like what your life looked like before. Oh, shorty in your DM, X, Y, and Z.
mm,
Things that you would normally naturally do as a man living in the world. But now you see those signs as trials and temptations because you know there's a certain behavior required of you that no longer fits the mold of what you were usually doing. So you just have to
okay,
be aware of those things now that you have a different mindset and a different perspective of looking at them as
hmm
trials and knowing that you gotta endure through that
beautiful.
because God requires you to do something else.
Kind, kind. And when we come into this truth, right? Remember, before the truth, we weren't truly being considered by God because we wasn't really trying to know Him. When we was in the church, we was just doing what the pastor said. You understand? We were following after the precepts of men. We wasn't moving after the precepts of God. But when we finally emptied ourselves and truly humbled and be humbled down and be followed after the Most High, right? Because someone either heard this truth, they went through a whole life experience, and they started to seek after the Most High in spirit and truth, right? That consideration hasn't started until that point. Until because remember, let me get shoots. What's it? Is it Psalms? Is it Psalms 81? The sacrifices of God is a broken and contrite spirit. Where's that at? I believe it's 81. Is it either 81 or 51? One of them.
All right, hold on.
The
So,
sacrifices of God is a broken and contrite spirit. See if you can find that if you can, right? But
sacrifice.
so, but here's the thing: when we come into this truth, we're like a whole new person, right? So guess what? We get a chance to be considered, or better yet, we get to trial ourselves to be considered by God. Because the men who were considered by God, they were moving in the ways of God for a long time. So the feats that we hearing about them, they did. It was just a long time coming. It was just their turn now to be chosen by God to do what He wanted them to do. Right? You found the king.
Come. This is the book
Mm-hmm.
of Psalms, chapter 51 and verse 17. The sacrifices of Yahweh are a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart. O Yahweh, thou wilt not despise.
Right? The Most High will not despise. So somebody coming into this truth, they probably was broken down to the 10th degree. right? Their spirit was crushed, their body was broken. They was on a path of desperation at this point because they were trying to figure out why their life was going this way, right? That might be some people's cases. They might have grew up in the truth, right? Or something, however it happened, right? It's just the fact that you're here now and you're actually serving him in spirit and in truth. That's the only thing that matters, right? But if we continue, if we continue to forsake him, even after coming to the knowledge of the truth, it's better. It'd have been better that we never even heard it. That's why when people tell me, no, not tell me, but when people say, so and so followed the truth, I would say, bro, you can't be no going back at that point because, like, once you hear this, you can't unhear it no more. Even how much you want to, the minute you start moving this law, statutes, commandments, and then one day you just all up and quit, bro, it'd have been better that you not even heard because now the punishment for you will be great. That's the crazy thing. In Revelations, I think it's 3:16. Get that for me real quick, King. Joel 2:13. God.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither
Go
cold
to
nor
15. Slovakia. Go up to 15.
it's the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 15. I know
Mm-hmm.
thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth.
Listen, I never considered lukewarm in my life. When I walk in my shower, that better be hot. You hear what I'm saying?
Uh,
That better be hot because even lukewarm feel cold to me. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I want to run a cold bath, then I run in a cold bath. I don't want no heat in it. I need nothing in the middle. I don't need one person foot in, one person foot out. Right? Scripture says, "He who put his hand to the plow and look back ain't fit for the kingdom." This whole walk is about follow through. If you get knocked down, you don't look back for help. You keep you keep moving in the spirit of the Most High God. You look to the Most High for help. You understand? You have Paul said it best. We have to seek out our own salvation in fear and trembling. That was like when I read that, I think I was still a Christian at that point. When I read that, I was like, dang, ain't no one could help you really go to heaven per se. You know what I'm saying? You're moving there on your effort as well, right? So at the end of the day, you have to um, look at yourself and examine yourself continually, so to make sure that you are moving in the direction that you need to be moving, so that you are considered by God. Temptation is a very good sign that you are being considered by the Most High God. You understand? Let's
that
go.
he
Let's
got.
go to verse. Let's go to verse 2 of Sirach. You have something?
Con, I was just saying that's one way because James tell you to consider it all joy when you encounter trials. So
That's
that's how you
right.
know the Most High dealing with you.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Okay.
just a precept to your point, real quick. Matthew 24 and 13. But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. So if you know what I'm saying, like if you jump into this, you got to know you playing the long game. You running a marathon. So like you have to endure and do those things to the end. You can't backdoor and backslide.
Okay.
The scriptures do tell us that a just man falleth 7 times, but he get back up. And so, um, you got to keep going.
See, sound like you've been reading, brother. But that's what we got to do in this truth. We got to continually read, continually. But let's get verse 2.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Cleave unto him and depart not away.
Say
That
that
thou
part again.
cleave unto him and depart not away.
Like I said earlier, he who look back right? He who pushes the plow and looks back ain't fit for the kingdom, right? When we need help, we need to come to him for that help, right? Yahushua said it best: "Come unto me, all ye who are heavy laden." Right? My yoke is easy and my burden is light. He's saying, cast all of your issues onto him, and he'll take care of it for you. As long as you trust in him, you will fare well. You understand? Because Christ right now is the propitiation of our sins. He is our advocate for the to the Father. So anything that we come to him, anything that we come to the Father for in his name, best believe you have the faith to believe that he will acknowledge that and send it up to the Most High for us. You understand that? But how do we ensure that our relationship is good with Christ? We have to do the things in which He says, because that's how we know that we love Christ, right? Just like how we love the Father, we also have to love Him the same way,
God.
right? So kind.
John
Um,
14, John 14 and 15. If you love me, keep my commandments.
kind, kind, kind,
And it
right?
just like it. And it all
Mhm.
just goes together because, like Christ said, if you love me, keep my commandments, right? And we know that in John 9:31, it says, now that we know that Yahweh heareth not sinners, but if any man be a worshiper of God and doeth his will, him he heareth.
Mm.
So they're not coming in saying anything different. Like the whole church will let you believe, oh, I'm just a wretched sinner. I'm no good. Well, if you go, and everybody like to say we don't like to go to the New Testament. You go to the New Testament, tell you if you're a sinner, he don't hear you. But your preacher ain't gonna bring that out to you, you know. And they don't teach you how to not be a sinner because we know that sin is the transgression of the law, as John tells us as well. So how can the law be dead, but God doesn't hear sinners?
Kind, kind. You talking good, King? So when we look at all these things that you brought up, and just everything in total in retrospect, right? It all leads down to one point and one purpose: to be considered by God. We have to do the things that were made by Him for us to do, right? Let's get the duty of man, right? Let's pull that precept, right? Because like the other night, I was getting some of the car, and as I'm getting some of the car, I hear somebody was like, "Hey, sir," right? And when I looked, it was a bunch of Mormons, right? And
Oh,
they, yeah, and they came up to me to talk to me, right? Like the two that came up to me, no beard on. You would think they like 14, 15, but then they telling me that they're elders. Elders, what? Y'all also got milk on your lip, but y'all talking about elders, right? And y'all out here trying to convert people to y'all church or whatever. And it's crazy. It's crazy, but at the same time, I commended their effort for even trying to come up against me, because they asked me, "Do I go to church?" I said, "I haven't been to church in years." Right? "Oh well, would you want to come to our church, bro?" I said, "Nope, I'm good." No, no, no. He actually said this. He would say, "Why don't you go to church?" I said, I'm tired of sitting up in a place where the pastor just spewing nothing but lies to me. You understand? I would rather read the book myself and learn. You, you know what I mean? And he asked me um, if I asked him if he had a favorite verse. You know what his favorite verse is? John 3:16. I was like, bro, you came at me with the wrong thing. John 3 and
like
16.
like he did a Google search of the number one Bible verse.
Number one. Number one. You know why? Because that's the Bible verse that a lot of Christians relate to, right? And that church, they go above and beyond because they have their own little book, right? Their little blue book that they push towards people. And it's like things like this. When you when you're locked in your faith, when you're locked in your trust in the Most High, when you're locked into the wisdom of the Most High God, right? Ain't nothing could come and bother you, right? They can't come bring me another doctrine, and I'm gonna be right there and believe in it. Because why? I have the wisdom and knowledge and understanding of the Most High God. I understand that book better than them. They don't even know what they're saying. They ask me what my favorite verse is. I say I have many. That's the answer. That's the answer I'm looking for. I'm looking for, if you only have one book of the whole Bible, that is your favorite verse. That's crazy, because now the Bible speaks in unison. Every book is my favorite book. You understand? Every
Con
book has a purpose. So I
precept
have
upon
many.
precept.
I
Con
have many. I can't go to John 3:16 without going to Matthew 15 and 22. I can't I can't go to John 3:16 without also examining John 17 and 19. Right? These things take me back. Hebrews 1 and 1. Right? Well, who's the world they talking about? Like I can't assess one verse and just think that I have the understanding of the book. This is where this is the difference between us and them. They
con
thinking that they have a favorite verse, and oh, I'm spiritual because I know this one verse. I know John 3:16 front ways and back ways, right? Because they instilled that into me as when I was a little child. You understand? I said, but when they say, oh, that's their favorite verse, they can't even quote it to me. I said, oh,
con
like John 3:16, for God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever shall believe in Him shall not perish but have everlasting life. That's your favorite verse, and they'd be like, yeah. You don't even know the verse. You just know that that's the verse in which you need to believe, right? That
con.
don't you knowing a verse don't get you considered by God. Shoots, even me memorizing a verse and then quoting it back verbatim don't make you considered by God. It's what's in your heart, right? Because the heart is the mind. The Most High is examining that. He ain't examining how much Bible verses you memorized. He ain't examining if you even have a favorite Bible verse. Because I know for him, for the Most High, every word is above him. Every word is above. You know what I'm saying? So, so we have to relook or re-examine ourselves to make sure that we are being considered, doing the things in which the Most High needs for you to do, for you to always be considered. Because in the days of Jacob's trouble, when that comes, everybody gonna want to be considered at that point. Because Jacob's trouble is a day which has never even happened of the likes of any day on earth ever. It's gonna be a horrible day. The only day that tops that is the coming of the Most High. Or sorry, the coming of Christ. That's the only day that tops it. The dreadful day of the Lord. That's the only day that tops it. You understand? So can you stand in that day where you can be considered by the Most High? Because He said, "My servants will eat during that time. His servants will be protected at that time." So you have to always ask yourself, where are you going to be at in that moment, right? So let's get back on topic. So I didn't plan for this lesson to be that long today, but brother Antonio coming with the precepts, man, coming with the precepts, right? So let me take a backtrack real quick, right? So I looked in the blue letter Bible, right, in the interlinear, and I was looking up that have you considered, right, when He said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job?" Right? I forgot about this point, right? So that one part of that verse, "Have you considered," is made of three different words, right? And those words are sum, right, which is H. Oh, I didn't write down the H word for this one. That's my fault. But sum lav al, lav al, right? So sum, right, being some of the meanings: to put, place, set, appoint, make. That's the top. That's the top usage, right? And secondary usage would be to put, set, lay, put or lay upon, lay violent hands on, right? So like lay hands on somebody, like So have you? So when the Most High is talking to Satan, have you even tried him? Have you put hands on him to see if he's gonna falter? Right. That's that sum. Right. Then we look at the lav. Right. The lav saying inner man. That's one of the meanings. Inner man. Right. That's your heart, your mind. Right. But the next, but it actually goes on to say inner man, mind, will, heart. Right? Understanding. So, did you test his understanding? Did you put hands on his understanding to see if he will falter or not? Oh, Slakia. Hey, Antonio, say something for me real quick. I gotta do something real quick.
Con.
Slakia.
So I don't want to have me hold this precept here. Let me get to it. This is Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahweh and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. And so I just pulled that precept you told me to do about the whole duty of man. And
Can,
so,
can. Break that down. Break that down
so
based off what I tell you.
John, so it tells us here we have to fear the Most High. Most people will talk about having faith, that Christ is coming, this, that, and the third, but they don't fear the Most High because they've been taught that everything is all love. Oh, you're all forgiven because He's all love and He wants to save and help everybody. But those we know earlier when I pulled up John 9 that He doesn't hear sinners. And so this scripture right here is not saying anything else. You have to keep his commandments. That's how you know that you fear the Most High. Is that you're willing to look weird in a world where everybody's out on Saturday because it's a perfect day getting brunch, and you're like, hey, I can't go buy nothing. I can't do nothing. This, that, and the third. These are all the commandments and things that because the world has gotten so wicked, you look crazy for doing it. The person who's telling the truth looks crazy for doing what the Most High says, and so that's how you know that we're upside down and where we're at. So if you do fear the Most High, as Christ said as well, you're gonna keep the commandments.
Can, can. So, I want you to bring out that precept for sure. Um, I'm gonna say this, right? Slakia.
Hold on.
Slakia, real quick. All right. My fault. I got distracted by something. But I wanted to say this, right? We have to um, perform our duty, right? If you at work and you are someone who isn't doing their job the way they're supposed to, would you ever be considered by the management of your job for a promotion?
What was that? Adam, I'm sorry.
If you wasn't doing if you were at work and you weren't doing your job to the best of your ability, would you ever be considered by your manager for a promotion? Say, hey, I
Nah,
see Antonio, he could take on more, you
nah.
know. So same with the Most High. Most High is the boss. How you can give the boss half-ass work, right? He wants you to
Or
go
no
above
work.
and beyond, basically. He wants to see your effort. If you've put in effort and you put in steps to, uh, uh, you know, make him look good, basically, right? Because that's how the jobs go. You got to make them look good for them to do something for you, right? But to
Elevate you, right?
make the but to make the Most High look good, of course, the Most High is going to bestow a blessing on you if you are doing your job well, if you're performing your duty. You understand? But jumping back to the interlinear that I was going through, right? I just found it interesting, right? To whereas you have that sum, lav, al, right? And I implore anyone to look at the interlinear, right? The the lav, right, which is H3820, right? Where it talks about the inner man, the mind, the heart, right? The will, your desire has to be to serve the Most High, right? So Satan was sent to test the desire of Job to serve the Most High. If I put destruction on this man's substance, will he curse you? Will he forget you? Will he move away from you? Right? the fact that we're enduring in this truth, right? Every day, Satan is testing our will to see if we want to stay in this truth or not. That's why you have brothers, sisters dropping out because Satan got to them. He did his job well, right? We are supposed to strengthen ourselves. We are supposed to gird ourselves and put on the full armor of God, right? So that we could ward against the wiles of the devil. Because Satan can come at you with any tactics. He fight dirty. He trying to get that promotion at all costs. You know what I'm saying? So for him, you just part of the work. So you got to think about it. Satan is doing his work to the best of his ability, right? And you doing your work mediocrely. Who you think can win?
Time.
You have to you in order to run with the best, you got to be the best.
And
You got
I
to be
don't.
the
You know the cold part about that is y'all both work for the same boss.
mm. And your
Satan is
coworker
working
showing you
for
up.
the. Yeah, right. Satan is working at a high level, and you're working mediocre, but you both work for the Most High.
That's true. Keep going. I like that. What
And
else you
so,
think about
with that, Shalom.
Oh, Shalom, Shalom, Adawan.
Come, but with the, you all have different motives, right? For how you're working for your boss. Just like some coworkers may be working to buy a house, or you might be working to buy a car, provide for your kids. You have different motives, but at the end of the day, you both work for the Most High. So, I think
That's
that's
right.
the cool part.
Can. So, hey, nah. Thanks for letting me know. Bring up the interlinear for that 1 and 8, right? Because I want to show the people this. Because when I was going through it, I was like amazed by it, right? Because it helped me put my lesson together. You know what I mean? But hey, Adawan, you got anything you want to say before we get the interlinear again?
Well, no, I was just kind of going to add on to what y'all was saying about you both serving the same God, but one going to be more considered than the other because one is actually doing the work. But if you want to move on to the next thing, you can.
Ah, you got it.
All right,
I actually got something to say about that too.
let's get the book of Genesis, right?
Got it.
Chapter 4, right? Let's get the book of Genesis, chapter 4, and we're going to pick up at verse number 3.
Okay, it's the book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 3. And in process of time, it came to pass that
Mhm.
Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord.
Mm-hmm. So Salakia, one of them they was bringing the offering to the Most High God, right? The brother was saying like, if you do a half job, right, or you do or no work or a half job of serving the Lord, right? Do you think you still should still be considered? Do you think you still should get that promotion, right? We don't.
Okay, verse 4. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock
Mm-hmm.
and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering.
Salakia, right? So, not matter of fact, then read the next verse. Read part of the
Okay,
first.
verse 5.
Uh-huh.
But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect.
Right. So why didn't he have respect to? He had respect to one, right? But he didn't
Mhm.
have respect to the other. Why is that? Right? Because Cain, right? He just brought anything to them, right? Right? They supposed to be offering offerings to the Most High God, but when you make an offering to the Most High God, right? You're supposed to offer the best, man, the firstlings, right? The first fruits, man. Right? So are you offering what's equivalent to your first fruits to the Most High God? Are you giving the Most High the bulky, the good part of your time, the best of you? Or are you only studying or you only reading, right? Just because you have to read. Like you're not really you're not doing it to try to retain information. You're just doing it because you're just going with the flow. Right? Are you praying because you actually want the Most High to hear you, or you just know you have to pray 3 times a day? Are you just doing it because of that? Or you actually trying to make supplication to Yahweh Bashem Yahshua? Right? So Cain, right? He halfway served the Lord, right? And Abel, right? He gave the firstling of his flock. He gave the best of it, right? He offered the firstling up to the Most High God, and the Most High had respect unto that thing, right? He was considered by Yahweh, right? Read on.
God. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen?
Right. So it's a question, like it's just like you halfway studying in school, right? Or you halfway practice on whatever sport you what you play, right? And then you get mad because the coach don't put you in the game, right? Right. But you got this other brother busting his tail, getting up at 5 in the morning, doing his push-ups, right? Doing his pull-ups. You know what I'm saying? He practicing on his curveball, or he practicing on a jump shot, or you know what I'm saying? He's doing his footwork drills, right? And it's showing off, right? When it's time to work, man.
Right.
When it's actually time to play, when it's time to show and prove, right? You halfway studying, right? You halfway reading, and when real life comes at you, you're not really applying the precepts, right? Because you're not putting in forth the effort, right? And the Most High can see that. You know what I'm saying? Those are things that we can actually see. You know what I'm saying? So he said, "What? Why are you mad, man? What you upset for? Why you upset because you ain't getting in the game? Why you upset because you're not getting that good grade on your paper when you really didn't put forth the effort?" Right? Read on.
God. Verse 6. And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth? And so I read that. Verse
Mm-hmm.
7. If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted?
I mean,
And if
if you put forth the effort, right? Ain't you gonna succeed, right? Read on.
God. And if thou dost not well, sin lieth at the door.
Do is what light at the door,
Sin lieth at the door.
right? So that hate, right? That's why he hated his brother. Because he halfway did what the Lord told him to do, and the Most High blessed him, and he had respect unto him, right? But Cain, he had no respect. So that sin lied at the door. He starts to envy his brother. You know what I'm saying? You start to hate on your brother, your sister next to you, because the Most High is blessing them with a nice house, or a nice family, or her husband is she can find a husband and you can't, or he can find a good wife and you can't, right? Things like
Right.
that. Right? Because you're not putting forth the effort to praising the Lord, and the Most High is not blessing you. Right? You're not being considered right now, and you got the nerve to have an attitude. Right? You know.
It's a log here. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him.
Right. So it's saying like if you actually do what he was telling Cain, if you actually do what you're supposed to do, hey, you're the oldest. He's gonna serve you. But if not, hey man, you just gonna be on the bottom just like you is right now, hating on you. Right. So what we need to understand is that like let's give Sirach 43 and 30, and I'm gonna bounce it back to you.
God. Boy, I don't want it's crazy. It's like you was in my nose. I actually was gonna bring that one out.
All right, I'll wait.
No. The Genesis 4. The
Oh,
Genesis 4. But I put it on the side. I didn't know if I was gonna go through that or not.
see
But
that? The
all
Lord said
praise to the Most High. God.
all praise.
God, it had to come out. It had to come out.
That's
You
right.
said so. Sirach 43.
43 and 30. Come.
Oh, you
There's
got
a
it.
book. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 43 and verse 30.
Mm-hmm.
When ye glorify Yahweh, exalt him as much as ye can.
Mm-hmm.
For even yet will he far exceed. And when ye exalt him, put forth all your strength.
No, do it halfway.
Put forth all your strength.
No, just a little bit.
Put forth all your strength.
No, 75% of it.
Put forth all your strength.
No, 99.999% of it.
Put forth all your strength.
Right? So put forth all your strength, right, when it comes to exalt the Lord. Right? Because he's gonna see that effort, man. He's gonna bless you. You can't, and what they used to say in the Christian church, right? You can't be God given, no matter how hard you try.
Facts.
You feel what I'm saying? And that's true. That's one of the few things that they said was true, right? You can't beat the Most High giving anything, right? So it say when you exalt the Most High God, put forth all your strength. Man. You can never go far enough. It's never enough. There's never too much. Like Luther Vandross song, right? I'm showing my age, man. Right? So and that's why I just want to exhort brothers and sisters through the spirit, man. You can never go far enough, man. When you serving the Lord, right? You want to be considered, put forth all your strength, man. I yield, man.
The water of the one mighty points all praise to the Most High.
All praise.
All right. Hey, Knock, if you could hear me, I don't know if you got that interlinear. Let's get back on that because I want the people to see what I'm talking about. All right. But because I don't know if the brother there or not. All right, we'll come back to that. I don't want to take up time doing that. Let me get the. Oh, okay, he there. Okay, kind. All right, 1 verse 8.
What book you need add on?
No. We're doing interlinear. No, I got it up on the screen. All right, kind. So let me get the interlinear, the reference. Keep going. Right there. So go back up. Yeah, the 3820. Yep. Let me see. So the lathe, right? So mine's the ones I have is it broke it up into 3 different words. Some lathe, right? But scroll down, right? The lathe is the important point, right? Oh, so the outline of biblical usage, right? Inner mind, will, heart, understanding, right? We all the precepts that we have of the fear of the Lord, right? We brought out, it had something to do with these, right? When we brought out Job 28:28, it says the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom. A good understand and no, how it go? Uh to depart from evil is understanding, right? Now you can stay right there. Go back up. No.
What you want, Job 29:29? That's what you're saying?
28:28. I was saying 28:28.
So what?
Right
Which
there.
one?
Yeah, kind. You could get it. You get it.
The
Right.
book of Job, chapter 28, and verse number 28. Right? It says, unto man he said, behold, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom. And to depart is slacking, and to depart from evil is understanding.
Right. So now we understand that Satan came to test Job's understanding. See this word here? Have you considered? So basically, the Most High is asking Satan, have you did your role in making sure we brought some temptations, some tests, some fiery trials to this man to test his understanding that he has for me? Because he might just be doing it as a you know, as a recurring thing. I know to put on I just put on fringes, right? Because I know I have to. I do this because I know I have to, but I ain't doing that because I want to, right? Is Job really desiring me, right? Is this inner man, right? The man that this my laws have shaped him to be. Is he truly this person that he's presenting himself to be, right? The interlinear, like this live, is very mighty because now we look at more, right? It says inner part midst, right? Midst of things, heart of man, soul, heart of man, right? We brought Jeremiah 17:9, right? Talk with the heart. Genesis 6:5, we showed that the heart of man at that time was wicked continually. You understand? Just to reinforce the point in Jeremiah 17:9, right? Number 5 says inclination, resolution, determination. Does he have the determination to truly serve me even when he falls down to a lower state? Is he going to change up? Is he going to be double-minded? Right? So this is the fiery test that the Most High was doing towards Job, right? And Antonio, do you still have Sirach too?
Con out of one.
All right, do verse 3 down to 5. Right.
Con. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 3. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. For
Right.
gold is,
Go ahead.
verse 5, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
Right. So Job was proving himself to be an acceptable man. He was patient when things was brought upon him. Right. He wasn't out there cursing God. He wasn't out there questioning the reason why God did what he did. He was questioning himself. What did I do? Like, what could I have done to cause this to come upon me? Right. And he started saying, yo, at this point, yo, I I curse the fact that I even came out the womb at this point because I don't even know, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I would never fix my mouth to say the Most High did me wrong. You understand? Because the fact that I'm alive is a blessing from the Most High. Job was humble in that regard, right? But he showed his desire even after people was telling him all types of different advices, right? He stayed true in his resolve and he stayed true to the Most High. You understand? So this is what Satan does in his full strength, right? He asked the Most High, hey, how far you want me to go with this? You understand? How far you want me to go with Yahweh? Should I hit him at that thing that I know he weak at? Am I? Could I? All right, Antonio. Yeah, man. I know what this brother's big weakness is. I could get him there. You understand? Satan can't do nothing to you that the Most High don't give permission for him to do, right? But as long as we move in accordance to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, he can tell Satan exactly what he told him about Job. You can't take his life though, right? But because we have to go through that fiery trial of adversity, be patient. Storm the harsh weather, right? When the disciples was on the sea, right? When the waves start kicking up, right? And they saw Christ on the water. They had fear. They had fear. They had fear that, oh, they thought they saw a ghost, right? But when they saw that it was Christ there, guess what? Somebody felt bold enough to say, hey, Lord, let me walk out there with you. Regardless of the seas was all rough and stuff.
Mm.
God, holding on to the Most High for our strength is what He wants to see. He wants to see if we're going to do Proverbs 3 and 5. If you move like Proverbs 15 and 12, right? When you do things according to your own will, that's when you destined for destruction, right? But if you keep it Proverbs 3 and 5, where you lean on into your own understanding and you trust in the Most High's understanding and His ways, you will fare well, right? But the water not, you could drop the interlinear.
I got a
Let me.
proof for that side, right?
Okay, go ahead. What you got?
Zechariah. Hold on, I'm in the wrong one. Zechariah 13 and 9.
Okay.
And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. And as we brought up earlier in the scriptures, we know that the Most High does not hear sinners, right? So in that portion, you gotta continue to keep the commandments while you're enduring and being refined and going through that fire, and He'll hear you, and He'll step out with you. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahweh is my God.
Okay.
And I deal with that.
Okay. Let me get the book of First Chronicles, chapter 29, verse 9. All right. So all this talk about how your heart has to be, how your mind has to be, your will, basically. It's very important because if you don't have the heart to go through all these issues, you really ain't set up for the kingdom. If you can't and totally say that your trust is in the Most High, yo, bro, I going through so much things, man. Like I don't think nobody get it. I feel like the whole world caving in on me. Trust in the Lord. That's all we could do is trust in the Lord. I still going through things, right? Things still happen to me, and sometimes, yeah, I break down. I break down about it. I get into my feelings about it. I'm in a front, right? But at the end of the day, I know I serve a bigger purpose, right? And ain't everybody gonna understand. Everyone's not gonna understand, right? But I give all praise and honor and glory to the Most High God that I still have this understanding and I'm still fit to want to serve Him, right? All right, who got that? First Chronicles
29 and 9. Right on.
28, 28.
28 and 9. Con, it's the book of First Chronicles, chapter 28 and verse 9. And thou, Solomon, my son, know thou the God of thy fathers, and serve him with a perfect heart and with
With
a
a
will,
what? With a what?
with a perfect heart and with a willing mind.
Right. So when we looked at the interlinear, when we looked at love, right, or lave, however you pronounce it, it showed heart, mind, will, inner man. He wants you, right, to serve the Most High perfectly, Salakia, with a perfect heart and a willing mind. That means that your desires have to be the desires of the Most High. You have to hate what He hate and love what He love, right? It should be unquestionable about the way He wants you to move. You shouldn't have to question it. Just say which direction, Lord. Just point I go. That's how we need to move. Do we do it all the time? No. Sometimes we get stuck in our ways. But the practice is trying to move closer to just trusting in his way for our lives. To stay Proverbs 3 and 5. Right? We trying to decrease the Proverbs 14 and 12 and make it more 3 and 5. Right? Keep going.
For Yahweh searcheth all hearts, and understandeth all the imaginations of the thoughts. If thou seek him, he will be found of thee. But if thou forsake him, he will cast thee off forever.
Okay. Now take Sirach 2 and 10, right, and read that.
The book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in Yahweh and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him?
Right? Who did he ever despise? If we doing what we supposed to do, right? I tell you this: when you at work and your manager knows that you go above and beyond for everything, and you do the things in which you need to be doing. If somebody came up against you, guess what the manager can do? He gonna fight for you because you making him look good. You think he want his star player to go somewhere? No. So the same way the Most High, He's not going to leave you defenseless. When you in that adversity, He's going to be there. He just wants you to call on Him. That's it, right? Let me see. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Let me get the Book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1. Start at verse 5 and 6, right? And could someone else give me the book of Psalms?
I got that wisdom of Solomon.
Okay.
Con,
In the
I'll
book of
read.
Psalms.
I
In the
have
book
it.
of Psalms.
Lucky, go ahead. My bad.
So I didn't even know what was going on for a second. Let me get the book of Psalms, chapter 7, verse 9 as well. So Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 5, Psalm 7 and 9. Let me get Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 5 first.
Con. Oh, you said you want Psalms first?
Wisdom of Solomon.
Oh, all right, cool. Con. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 5. For the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit.
So you can't be double-minded. Keep going.
And remove from thoughts that are without understanding,
Hmm.
and will not abide when unrighteousness cometh in.
So we can't expect the Most High to come swoop in for us when we come to Him double-mindedly, and then we want to now serve in righteousness. Nah, that's not how it works, right? Um,
It's
you read
like
verse 6. What's up, Edwin?
start at verse number 2.
Come. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
For he will be found of them that tempt him not,
Right.
and showeth him unto such as do not distrust him.
Right. So the brother was bringing out like having faith in the Most High God. Right. So having faith and trust in the Most High God is one of the most important things to do. That's the only way to get the kingdom. Keep the commandments and have faith, right? Because He's not, like the brother was saying, you're not gonna get help from the Most High God if you distrust Him, right? You're not gonna get help from the Most High God. It's just impossible. He's not gonna help. So Rock 25 and 12 says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of His love, and faith is the beginning of cleaving unto Him." You have to cleave unto the Most High God.
That's right.
Right? So when he said, so when he goes down into like verse number 5, the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit. Like if you're a liar, right? If you going off and you're not trusting that the Most High God is going to actually be there for you, right? His spirit is not going to dwell with you because you're not trusting Him. You're going to go off into what the world wants you to do, right? Go ahead, I yield.
Okay. See, it happened again. I won. You started that down to 2. I moved up to 5. See, it got to come out, right? The Most High, His words don't come back to Him void, right? So now this is me now snipping stuff, but nah, I can't. I just can't. You give me like I don't want also giving you an additional source of meat, source of protein. Let me say it like that, right? Because it's important, right, for your mind to be steadfast on the Most High. We cannot come to Him double-minded at all, right? We can look for protection from the Most High, and if we doing the things that seem a little shaky, untrustworthy, we can't come to the Most High and say, "Oh, I'm a loyal servant," right? Um, when you look at what I think that's in Matthew, when we looked at the talents, right, that was given to the servants, right? One got 10, one got 5, one got 1,
Huh.
and the one with the 10 and the 5, they doubled their talents, but the one who was given the 1, he hid it, right? The master gave a commandment to keep this and make it more, right? I can't go on my own thoughts because I fear the dread of him that if I lose my talent, that he's going to destroy me. I can't move like that. I have to push and do in which he wants me to do. I have to trust in him that he's going to give me that ability to do what he set out for me to do. Because when Moses was told to speak to the children of Israel before he went back into Egypt, Moses started questioning God like, well, my brother, he speaks better than I don't know how to speak really well. But Most High said, who made man's mouth? You understand? Like, who made man? You got to remember the Most High created everything, bro. Don't question him. If he telling you to do something, it's a reason why he telling you to do it. You know what I mean? But that's a little side point. Um, but I got two more points, and I'll be wrapping it up. Unless any of you brothers want to add something else to it. So I want to look at Saul, right? Because I'm always come from a Benjamite perspective. I gotta look at this. Let me get the book of 1 Samuel 13. Shoot. And I think it's I want to say verse 9.
Con. Book of 1 Samuel chapter 13 and verse number 9. And Saul said, "Bring hither a burnt offering unto me." Salakia, bring hither a burnt offering to me, and peace offerings. And he offered the burnt offering.
All right. So, okay. I caught it in the midst of the point. My fault. Let me see. So I just want to get some context to this, right? Uh, go back up to the top. I don't want. Let me start at start at the top real quick. My fault.
Verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Cause the book of First Samuel, chapter 13, and verse number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Saul reigned 1 year, and when he had reigned 2 years over Israel, Saul chose him 3,000 men of Israel, whereof 2,000 were with Saul in Michmash and in Mount Bethel,
Mm-hmm.
and 1,000 with Jonathan in Gibeah of Benjamin, and the rest of the people he sent every man to his tent.
Right. So this Saul's in reign. Right. He got anointed to be king. He won over the Ammonites, who was coming up against his people. Right.
Mhm.
And now they're battling against the Philistines. Right. At this point. So now Saul he getting into his swing now. He been king about 2 years now. You know what? Time to put my reach out there and um, let my presence be felt, right, throughout Israel. So now we could jump down to verse 6. Verse 6, yeah.
Verse 6. 1 Samuel 13 and 6. When the men of Israel saw that they were in a strait, for the people were distressed, then the people did hide themselves in caves, and in
Hmm.
thickets, and in rocks, and in high places, and in pits.
So when we look at the book of Sirach, right, it said, "Make not haste in time of trouble," right? They saw that they were distressed, right? They got fearful, and they just went all types of different ways, right? Keep going.
Verse 7. And some of the Hebrews went over Jordan to the land of Gad and Gilead. As for Saul, he was yet in Gilgal, and all the people followed him trembling. And he
Okay.
tarried.
No, keep going.
Go ahead. All right.
No, mhm.
No, go ahead, King.
No, I was saying kind of like I was agreeing. You could keep going. Alvin.
Oh, verse 8. And he tarried 7 days according to the set time that Samuel had appointed. But Samuel came not to Gilgal, and the people were scattered from him.
So now, right here at this point, right, Samuel, he's the voice that's talking to Saul, right? That God's given him his words to tell to Saul, right? But now Samuel's presence is gone. He feels like the presence of God has left him as well, right? I mean, at this point, I'm looking at it like this, right? Saul has to. Why not? Why you don't see here that Saul prayed to the Most High so that he could bring word from Samuel. Sorry, word from him to he could bring Samuel to give word from him to like he did not do that. So what he did, he went into that Proverbs 14 and 12, right? He didn't stay in Proverbs 3 and 5. He went to that Proverbs 14 and 12 because when Samuel departed Saul and he left them 7 days and he didn't come back after the seven, Saul got worried. You understand? He started to think according to his own thoughts at this point, because we're gonna jump down. He did something that he should not have done. Right? Jump down to 13:1.
Verse number 13. And Samuel said unto Saul, Thou hast done foolishly.
Oh, my
Thou
fault.
hast.
I missed it. Slack it, slack it, slack it, slack it. I missed the point.
Uh-huh.
Verse 10. My fault.
Verse 10. And it came to pass, this First Samuel chapter 13 and verse 10. And it
Nine,
came to
nine.
pass.
Slack it. Nine,
It's,
nine,
not,
nine.
it's okay. It's all good, King. It's the book of First Samuel chapter 13 and verse number 9.
Uh-huh.
And Samuel said, Bring hither a burnt offering to me, and a peace offerings. And he offered the burnt offering. And it came to pass that as soon as he made an end of offering the burnt offerings, behold, Samuel came. And Saul went out to meet him, that he might salute him.
So now Saul thinking everything all good. He know better than to do the job of the Levite. Right? There's Levites appointed to do those sacrifices. And Samuel was the one that was supposed to do it. Saul took it upon himself to make that sacrifice. No one gave him the command to do so. No one gave him the authority. He took it upon himself. He was moving in his own ways and his own thoughts. And that in itself led to his destruction, right? Um, So let's see what Samuel said to him in verse 11.
Verse 11. And Samuel said, what hast thou done? And Saul
Dang.
said, because I saw that the people were scattered from me, and that thou camest not within the days appointed, and that the Philistines gathered themselves together in Michmash.
That's a
There-
wise saying, right? Slack, the other one. That's a wise saying that when you make assumptions, you make an ass of yourself, right? At this point, because the people doing all these type of things in your eyes, you thinking that, okay, well, I'm gonna take it upon myself to fix it, right? You're the captain of the Most High's host, right? You're the leader. You supposed to go to the Most High. The Most High is the leader, not you. Why are you taking it upon yourself to make sure the people good? The Most High is going to make sure the people good through you. But and it's like every time I listen to stories of Saul, I'd be like, bro, I understand now that 14 and 12 be strong in us because we be trying to do things according to our own ways. But that ain't the way that the Most High has set us up to be. He wants us to be obedient, right? Where we stop at 12, right? No. Yeah. Okay.
Verse 12. Therefore said I, the Philistines will come down now upon me to Gilgal. I have not made supplication unto Yahweh. I forced myself therefore, and offered in burnt offering.
Here's the issue. The Philistines ain't gonna do nothing the Most High ain't command them to. The Most High didn't command them to do. Mine's going to the Lord. Out there in the mind of his way. So if the Philistines was able to do nothing, he made it all up in his head. He let his thoughts seep in and made him error. Right? Because being obedient to the Lord, I'm being obedient to the one that controls everything. That goes without saying. Why do I make assumptions for the Lord? I don't understand his thoughts, right? One of my teachers tell me why seek things higher. How it go? Don't seek things higher than what you could understand, right? I think I butchering it, but I think it goes along the line. So I think it's in Sirach, right? Don't not don't not don't not seek.
21.
Yeah, because you're the one who showed him the precept.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you. So right, don't seek things. Don't. I thought you was gonna catch that. Don't seek things higher, too high for you. You understand? Don't.
I
You don't
got it
know
right
this.
here. Pull it.
Pull it. Yeah, I gotta come up there.
Con, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 3 and verse 21.
Mm.
Seek not out the things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength.
It's above his strength. You don't know when them people are supposed to attack. You are not in their camp. You don't know that they can come down. They don't know what you're doing. You understand? Like it don't make no sense. You don't make movement without adequate recon, adequate intelligence. You don't do things like that. So Saul was misguided when he did what he did.
You got to read the rest of that.
Yeah. We go. Yeah, we keep going. We going.
Read down to verse 24.
Oh, you mean Sirach? Okay.
Verse 22. But what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence, for it is not.
So what is told you to do, what you're told to do, think upon that. Right? That's all he had to do. The Most High gave me an order, right? Those are the things I'm supposed to think about. Not what he told the Philistines to do, not about the Philistines coming down to destroy you, not about the people being scattered behind you. Right? The Most High God gave me direct orders. That is what I'm supposed to do.
Facts.
Right.
So I also use these words, right? From one of your first classes out of one. You got tricked out of your position at this point.
Come on.
You understand? By doing these things that you didn't need to be doing, you got tricked out of your position because now you allowed yourself to do it to you. That's even worse when you become your own worst enemy.
Come on. Hey, can you read down a little bit more, Baba Kashad? 24. Now you on mute.
So the rest of verse 22. For it is not needful for thee to see with thine eyes the things that are in secret,
right? So you don't need to know exactly what the Most High God has done, or how He's gonna move, and what pieces He gonna move, right? It say the secret things belong to the Most High, but the things that are revealed belong to His servants, right? So He say to think upon the things that He shows you with reverence. Don't worry about the things that are above you, man. Just do what you told, right?
Facts.
Read on.
Verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
Be not curious in unnecessary matters,
Right,
for more things are showed unto thee than men understand.
right. So the things that you actually showed, I guarantee you, the bulk of the world don't know exactly what that is. Don't nobody understand these scriptures. Don't nobody understand the powers that we have, or the power that we serve. It's
That's
not
a
for them.
fact.
It's not for them. It's for you. It's for you to understand. It's for you to know what He'll do for you. It's for you to have faith. It's for you to keep His commandment. And that's what Saul went off at, right? Because he's seeing everybody else losing faith behind him, right? Like Israel do, right? People start panicking and you panic with them, right? But you're a
Right.
man of the Lord. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to
Uh,
have that faith. And if you do get afraid, you're supposed to turn to Him, seek His face even 10 times more,
Facts.
right? I'm gonna yield it. I'm gonna bounce it back to you.
All
Because he
praise to the
probably
Most High.
had people coming to him, giving him this information. Oh, I heard this is coming here, coming there.
Yeah,
We're supposed to believe God rather than men.
That's right.
right.
That's right.
You gotta think.
God.
Doesn't give you the spirit of fear.
That's right. That's Joshua chapter 1 and verse number 8.
Mm-hmm. God. God.
You want me to read out 24 out of one?
No. That's good. We're gonna jump back over to First Samuel.
Okay.
What verse you want it?
Let me read 12 again. Just go down to 13.
Call the book of First Samuel chapter 13 and verse number 12. Therefore said I, the Philistines will come down now upon me to Gilgal, and I have not made supplication unto Yahweh. I forced myself therefore and offered a burnt offering.
Mhm.
And Samuel said to Saul, Thou hast done foolishly. Thou hast not kept the commandments of Yahweh thy power, which he commanded thee. For now will Yahweh have established the kingdom upon Israel forever. But now, let me read that again.
Yeah.
Verse 13. And Samuel said unto Saul, Thou hast done foolishly. Thou hast not kept the commandment of Yahweh thy power, which he commanded thee. For now will Yahweh have established thy kingdom upon Israel forever. But now thy kingdom shall not continue. Yahweh hath sought him a man after his own heart, and Yahweh hath commanded him to be captain over his people, because thou hast not kept which Yahweh commanded thee.
See, dang, my boy dropped the bag. Right? As Benjamites, we would have been in the kingdom, not in the kingdom, but we would have been in the kingship. Drop the bag, man. But you know what? What's up? What's up?
Hey, when Genesis 49, it was established from the beginning, man.
That's right.
It wouldn't happen. Hey, but what it was, Salaki, but what it is to show us, like Romans chapter 15 and verse number 4, tells us like the things that are written aforetime written for our learning. So,
That's right.
so we can learn from this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we can say, like, okay, if we wouldn't have done this, then this would have happened. Well, the Most High already had this ordained from the beginning. But moving forward, right, if we stay steadfast on the things that we supposed to stay steadfast on and focus on keeping the law, statutes, commandments, and having faith, these are the benefits that we could gain from those things. But if we don't, this is the consequences that we're gonna suffer from, which is losing getting tricked out our position.
God, wisely put out one. So if he had just did what the Most High commanded, he would establish his position in the kingdom of Israel forever. But he didn't, right? So now he's not considered by the Most High anymore. He's just showing that now, right? You were considered for king. I made you king, and you did not do the things I wanted the king to do. So now you're the ranking. I will find somebody who has my heart, right? Who's a man after my own heart, right? So let's find out who that is, right? Let's go to First Samuel 16. Make one verse. Slovakia 16 and dang, I ain't losing it.
You want to start at the beginning, then jump over to
6 and
verse.
1. Yeah, it was from the beginning.
All right.
Yeah, kind of.
The book of First Samuel, chapter 16, and verse number 1. And Yahweh said unto Samuel, how long wilt thou mourn for Saul? Seeing I have rejected him from reigning over Israel. Fill thy horn with oil and go. I will send thee to Jesse the Bethlehemite, for I have provided me a king amongst his sons.
Right. So now the Most High already found, the replacement. He found that man after his own heart, right? But there's I believe there's one or two crucial points in this chapter, right? When it comes to identifying the things of the Most High, right? You keep going out of one.
You want to read down? Okay, come.
No. We could go to verse 3.
Come, verse number 3. And call Jesse to sacrifice, and I will show thee what thou shalt do, and thou shalt anoint unto me him whom I name unto thee. And Samuel did that which Yahweh spake, and came to Bethlehem. And the elders of the town trembled at his coming, and said, comest thou peaceably?
Right, because they already know what type of man Samuel was. He was a man about the Lord's business, and he didn't play. Right, so you don't want to. I mean, he was known as a seer as well. You know what I mean? And he communicated with God daily. That's not somebody you wanna truly mess with, because the presence of the Most High is on him. Right? You in a sense you disrespect Samuel. You basically disrespecting the Most High too, because you're disrespecting the one that He sent. Right? Keep going on.
And he said, peaceably, I am come to sacrifice unto Yahweh. Sanctify yourselves and come with me to the sacrifice. And he sanctified Jesse and his sons and called them to the sacrifice.
Right. Let's go. Let's jump down to verse 6.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got to read this too. You got to read from here.
Yeah, just keep going.
And it came to pass when they were come that he looked on Eliab and said, surely Yahweh's anointed is before him.
Right. So he looking by sight. Right. Oh yeah, this man, he's strong. He look like he fit. He look like he mentally capable and everything. Right. But what the Most High said?
Verse number 7. And Yahweh said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For Yahweh seeth not as man seeth. For man looketh on the outward appearance, but Yahweh seeketh on the heart.
That's why we have to ensure that our heart is clean. We have to ensure that our house is swept clean, because now the Most High ain't seeing the physical things that you seeing. He looking at the inward man. He looking at the love. You understand? He ain't looking at, oh, I just gave this guy $100 the other day, or oh yeah, I go to the homeless shelters and I help and I clothe them. No, he ain't truly looking at that. I mean, is it good that you helping your brothers? Sure, but is that truly what you desire? Right? The Most High is looking at your will to serve Him and your delight. Right? Because what's it? Isaiah? Is it Isaiah? I want to say it's Isaiah 13. You know, hey, I don't want. You know that precept where it says, when we treat the Sabbath as a delight. I know it's in Isaiah. I want to say.
58. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh,
Yeah, man. It's 58 and 13.
Yeah, look at 13. Yeah.
It's the book of Isaiah chapter 58. 58 and verse number 13. It said, if thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure, and on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of Yahweh honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thine own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words.
That's right. So Most High wants to see that your lives is that your mind, your heart is set forth on seeking his desires and not yours. And that's how we have to move and try to move. Is it easy? No. But we could do all things through Christ.
Bring that up.
You understand? So it's a daily grind basically to make sure that our desires are his desires. And Lord knows he's still working with me, and I try my best every day, and I don't try to lose focus. If I look back, coming back for me.
Right.
You understand? So we have to keep moving. We have to keep moving towards his consideration, because if we gain his consideration, we gain the kingdom. Right? Israel, I just not even just individually, us as a nation, if we do not gain his consideration once again, even though it's prophesied that we will, but if we all start changing our minds to be considered by God, we can see a lot of ways happening in our nation. A lot, right? So now the Most High said to Samuel, don't look on the appearances, don't look on the statue, none of that. It's who I say, right? Because the Most High, he searches the heart. He's looking for that. He's looking for that person willing to do his desires, right? We get how many? We get 150 chapters from David. You understand that? That's a man after the Most High's heart. He put bars in Psalms. You understand? Straight full of wisdom, full of rebuke, full of sorrow,
Yeah.
like prayer, everything.
Joy.
You understand? Mm-hmm. That right there was the display of the Most High's wisdom on that man. I'll be honest. The only king that we had that was greater than David is Yahushua. Physically, right? Because Yahushua is from his seed, right? But Yahushua is our Messiah. And I might be talking in my vain opinion, so Salakia, right? But Yahushua is our king, right? And he is our king. He is our king that is blameless. He moves in the spirit of the Most High, and he had the Most High spirit without measure, right? So for me, I'm following after Christ. I don't know what you following, but I following after Christ, because Christ follows the commands of God, right? Point blank, period. So let's see. Is there anything else I wanted on that? Nah, I think that's it. Because just wrapping everything up, right? So for one, we understand that the Most High looks at the inner man. He sees your heart, your mind, and your ways or will, right? He strives, well, no, sorry, not he, but you have to strive to be perfect as best as possible every day, because every day we work towards consideration by God. The fact that he waking you up every day to serve him again is consideration, because he didn't have to wake you up today.
Right.
He didn't have to make sure you had a job. He didn't have to make sure you were still fed, clothed. You know what I mean? Right? In Ecclesiastes, it always says a live dog is better than a dead lion. I'm thankful to the Most High for life.
Right.
For me to be able to see another Shabbat, for me to be able to come on class and preach His words.
Right.
Right. So take this into consideration. Move in the love of the Most High God. Follow His laws, statutes, commandments. Set your heart aright and constantly endure.
That's right, bro.
Okay. If you brothers got anything else to say, that's all I got for this class.
Con, that was a mighty class, man.
All praise to the Most High.
Let's get the book of Luke, chapter 9, to verse number 62. Brother brought out a mighty lesson. All praise to the Most High that I was able to get on here, man. made it out to Atlanta. Lord willing, we're gonna have a mighty camp through the Spirit, man.
Man, I jealous, man.
Yeah, I'm ready for the
Got the
most.
big hitters out there today. God, you say 962?
Con.
Con, it's the book of Luke, chapter 9 and verse 62.
Mm-hmm.
And Jesus said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of Yahweh.
Right, con. So moving forward, man, we want to be putting our hand to the plow and moving forward, just looking straight, man. Right? We don't want to be looking back. We don't want to turn into a pillar of salt. We don't want to be salty about what's going on in the world, man. Right? We want to keep moving forward, right? Keep having the faith, keep striving for this kingdom, man. We almost out of here. You see, Trump is going crazy. Trump is doing the Lord's work right now. Right? Right? Hey, contrary to people believe, he is doing the work of the Lord right now. Right? So, hey, man, we gotta see everything. We gotta watch, right? We gotta get ourselves in order because we don't have too much longer here. Right? I'm not, nobody's gonna put a number on it, right? But we are definitely in that third day, right? So with that being said, man, all praise to the Most High. It was a mighty class. So we gonna, hey, keep looking forward. No looking back, man. We almost out of here.
God, slug it. All right, let's get that Matthew 7:18.
Brother said, man.
Sorry, my fault. Daniel. You know what I meant, brother.
Brother with another camp, ain't he? Pull it up.
What you call Matthew 7 and what?
No, it was a slip.
Daniel.
James 7:18.
Come here. It's the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 18.
You know.
But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever.
God. Well, thank you finally for tuning in to another Sabbath morning brew. I'm Officer Benyamian. This is
Brother Yawasop.
Soldier Antonio.
God. And we bid y'all shalom.
Shalom.
This is not a test.
Black skin, black sauce, black Jesus, black music, 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 black